Here's the A-23 Peacemaker, a plane that was actually designed to be used in combat but never saw the battlefield. And the other is the Etrich Taube, a plane that was actually designed for something entirely different. But the surprising thing was that this plane ended up changing aerial warfare forever. But how did this happen? We'll first start off by reviewing the aircraft in order to understand what the aircraft was actually built for. Because once we see its initial purpose, then every other thing will start to make sense. So without any further ado, let's get started. The Taube had a wingspan of 4 to 5 feet and was 34 feet long. And due to the shape of the wings resembling birds in flight and Taube, meaning dove in German, many thought that was the inspiration behind the Taube, but that was far from it because Etrich, being the designer, had focused his designs from the seed of Alsomitra, known for gliding long distances through the air after falling from their parent tree. If you look closely at the wings, you could see that the modified wings were made from wood, bamboo, and fabric, and they were attached to a simple two-seat layout inside the cockpit. This layout later made it useful for observation during the war. Later models of the Taube added the translucent wings, which made it difficult for ground observers to detect it at an altitude above 400 meters. Etrich also used wind wrapping concept developed by the Wright brothers in controlling the aircraft. As at that time, this design meant that the aircraft could only be suitable for one thing, which is observation. But Etrich never even had this in mind. He just wanted to solve one of early aviation's biggest problems, which is stability. And that stability, after it was achieved, was what made the Taube perfect for observation. So this is the primary purpose of the Taube. It was designed for stability. It wasn't designed for war. It wasn't designed for combat. Still, it ended up changing aerial warfare. We'll still find out how this happened. The Taube was powered by 40 horsepower Clearjet inline water-cooled engines that proved sufficient power, and the tail section had a fan-shaped horizontal stabilizers which could be warped to serve as an elevator. On top was a vertical stabilizer and a rudder which helped the Taube turn left or right, and in later versions, another vertical stabilizer was added below to improve control. Looking at these two planes, you will see that the landing gears are similar, and that's because Etrich adopted the format from one of the French aviators, which he had used in his Blériot X1 cross-channel monoplane for better ground handling. So guys, this is the part where I ask you to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to know more about these aircrafts that we've mentioned so far. So right now, we come back to our initial question, how an aircraft that wasn't even designed for combat ended up dropping the first aerial bomb that changed the whole aerial warfare forever. The simple answer is colonization. That's just it, colonization. All this started in 1911 during the Italo-Turkish War, where Italy invaded Libya, which was controlled by the Ottoman Empire. And Italian pilot Giulio Gavotti climbed onto the Taube with a few small bombs in its cockpit. With no weapons, no targeting systems, no release mechanisms, he flew over Ottoman positions in Libya, reached down, picked up a bomb, leaned out of the aircraft and dropped it by hand. That was it. Very simple. Then he continued doing it, and that moment became the first ever recorded aerial bombing in history. So you could see that the Taube wasn't a bomber. It just happened to drop bombs. It wasn't even built to make history. It was built to solve a problem. But through persistence and try and error, it ended up changing warfare forever. And that's the takeaway for us to keep building, to keep trying, because sometimes the things we're even working on today might be something that will change our world tomorrow. And this leads to the last question. If the Taube was so good at dropping bombs, why wasn't it fully used during the First World War? Let me hear your answers in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.